Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of automotive control design, specifically focusing on the subtle art of crafting physical controls for cars. It's a topic that blends engineering, ergonomics, and a dash of old-school craftsmanship.
Absolutely. I've always been intrigued by how the seemingly simple act of adjusting the car's climate control can be so frustrating in many modern vehicles. This article tackles that head-on, doesn't it?
Precisely. The author starts by revisiting a previous article where he lamented the over-reliance on touchscreens for climate control. He rightly points out that the core goal is simple: passenger comfort with minimal interaction. And that comfort hinges on four key environmental factors: temperature, radiation, airflow, and humidity. Clever, right?
Very clever. So, how did he propose to simplify things?
Initially, he designed a system centered around a single temperature dial. This dial would automatically adjust fan speed and seat heating to maintain the set temperature, a brilliant blend of automation and user control. But then he iterated, removing seat heating from the automated system because it's such a personal preference.
I see. A smart move. So how did he actually build this? Did he just slap a dial onto a touchscreen?
That's where things get interesting. He initially tried that, but found that approach problematic. Accurate touch registration around the dial proved difficult, and the space around the dial became unusable. So, he cleverly reversed the approach, bringing the display to the dial, not the other way around.
Ingenious. What technology did he use then?
He utilized the open-source Smart Knob project, a brushless DC motor that emulates an analog dial. The beauty of this is that the haptic feedback, the feel of the dial, is entirely software-controlled. He could simulate detents, resistance, even vibration. It's a fantastically customizable solution.
That's amazing. So he essentially had a programmable physical control. What did he learn from experimenting with different haptic feedback profiles?
Oh, tons. He explored smooth linear resistance, which felt artificial. Regular detents felt the most natural, as expected. And then he tried dynamic resistance, increasing with volume level, unusual, but potentially useful in other contexts. His experiments led to a set of really insightful design guidelines.
I'm eager to hear those guidelines. What were some key takeaways?
Well, consistency is key. The haptic feedback should match user expectations. He also stressed the importance of allowing both precise and rapid adjustments. Think of volume control. Sometimes you need fine-tuning, sometimes you need to mute instantly. And then there's the crucial aspect of synchronizing physical and visual feedback. I should seamlessly reflect the dial's position.
Makes perfect sense. And what about the actual implementation of his climate control system? How did it all come together?
He implemented a system with temperature, fan speed, and seat heating controls all on one dial. He used progressive haptic resistance for temperature, communicating the magnitude of changes. Fan speed and seat heating had distinct haptic profiles, but he found that three functions on one dial was pushing the limits. The small display couldn't effectively communicate the relationships between the automated system's functions.
So what's his final recommendation?
Two functions, temperature and fan speed, on a single dial. Seat heating should be a separate, dedicated physical control. This keeps things simple, intuitive, and safe for the driver. He also highlighted some existing car manufacturers who have implemented similar solutions, like Jaguar and Skoda, though he notes that even these are becoming less common.
It's a shame that many car manufacturers are moving away from physical controls. It seems like a step backward in terms of usability and safety.
Absolutely. The author argues that while touchscreens are necessary for complex tasks, simple controls like climate settings should remain physical. It's not just about cost. It's about prioritizing ergonomics and safety. There's a tangible satisfaction in using well-designed physical controls that's simply lost with touchscreens. And that's something worth preserving.
I couldn't agree more. Thanks for summarizing this insightful article. It's a compelling case for the enduring value of well-designed physical controls in cars.
My pleasure. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.